How long are we going to have to go through this? How long is this going to be the story of our club? Level droppers. Level droppers. There's nothing else to say other than we play up and down to our competition. And while we enjoyed the playing up, something's got to change. What's going on, Blue Empire? It's your boy Cam, back with another video. And unfortunately, we are here after Leeds 3, Chelsea 1. Very disappointing, very disappointing. But if you're a Chelsea fan, you know that this is not out of the ordinary. You know that this type of game is our Achilles heel. And we're not going to progress to the next level as a club until this type of trap, until this type of banana skin, until this type of level dropping performance is out of our system. First things first, let's give credit to Leeds, right? As a squad that's fighting a relegation battle, coming up against the at the time the third place team in the league, right? They set out to be compact, right? Try to nip one here, but essentially suffocate our midfield, press our center backs, and not let us have time to build up on the ball. But indeed, if we do happen to break that first line of the press, they're going to sit back deep, be real compact, not let us get any penetration. And they did exactly that. We had a couple of depressing performances today. We had a couple okay performances that just weren't horrible but weren't good enough. And my man, Uncle Tosin just not cut out for this level, man. I don't want to pile it too much on him because I'm not a negative Nancy type of person. But doggone it, every time I see that man name on the team sheet, I get scared. It just don't make no sense to me how you stand all of 6'4", right? And bro be losing the easiest headers. Let me not be disrespectful because I'm not of his level. But my man, I feel like you should be dominant in the air. If you play FC 26, Aerial Fortress Plus is what you should have, big dog. If nothing else, you don't got speed, right? You're supposed to have a line breaking pass in your bag. I see you do one nice little reverse pass to João Pedro towards the end of the game. But other than that, I didn't see a lot of pressing from you. I didn't see a lot of passing from you. Now, I do believe that was due to the two striker press that Leeds deployed against us. And but yeah, man, I don't think Tosin is to the level, and I think he may need to be a part of that group of players that get a nice little exodus from the club this summer. Would I be happy to see him go in January? I'm not gonna lie to you, I would. But it is what it is. Andre Santos, I don't think had a horrible game, but didn't cover himself in glory today. I don't think he, took charge of the midfield like he did against Burnley. Enzo was not bad, but not great. Tried to pop up in the pockets and really interchange with the wingers and João Pedro and the striker. He would, it was like whatever side Enzo was on or Cucurella was on, Enzo was on the other side, right? So most of the times, naturally, Enzo was on the right-hand side of our attack, especially because early Steve-O was out there. And then they would swap, right? And they kind of swap places like this, right? Almost as if they're connected by a beam, right? And so in order to balance each other out, when one goes down low to receive the ball, another one goes high, right? And vice versa. That was interesting to me. I did really like that. It didn't turn out to be too effective this game. But I'll definitely keep an eye on that and see like what comes from that in the future. But Jamie Giddens had a decent game. He wasn't crazy, but I think he did. I think he can walk away from this game with his head held high. Had one little, like, I'm not gonna say magic moment, but one little moment where he put in some good work, going down that left hand side, puts in a nice cross that finds its way to Pedro Neto at the edge of the 6-yard box. And he actually puts away a very, very tidy finish, kind of threads the needle right there. And that's Chelsea's only goal, and it's nowhere near enough, to salvage a point, let alone win this game. Bob Sanchez didn't have the greatest game, although he did make some good saves. Without him, or I guess if you place Jorgensen right there, I believe this game actually is like 4-5. 4 or 5-1, which is crazy to think about. But yeah, his distribution was not as good as it has normally been, and obviously we know what happened with a couple bozo moments. He got saved by an offside, but it seems that a bozo moment was just in the cards. As another one happens, not necessarily him, but just the team as a whole. Malo Gusto kind of gives the ball back to Tosin, that puts him under a little bit of pressure, and then he's just like, yeah, I don't want this ball, and kind of tries to pass it on to Bob, and we know what happens from there. Overall, was not happy with the performances. The only person I am truly like ready to not see in the team anymore is Uncle Tosin, for a couple of reasons. Obviously, the first reason, I don't believe he's of the level. I don't believe he cuts. He cuts it. I don't think he, is a type of player, or is the level of player, the caliber of player, the quality of player that we need in our team right now, especially as we're trying to push forward and go to the next level as a club. But two, Josh Achampong needs his minutes. After today's performance, for sure, I already felt this way. But after today's performance, there's zero reason why Josh shouldn't get this man's minutes. I can't remember the last game we saw Josh play majority of the game. There's no reason Josh shouldn't have played this game, in my opinion. Right? That's a knock for Maresca. But I also understand him starting Tosin. The last game Tosin played, he played decently well. But I view that as more of the outlier for Tosin, and this is more of closer to the norm for Tosin. But yeah, and then thirdly, it sours Trev Chalobah's name. I think Trev is a good defender. I think Trev is of the level. But I think every time Trev is played with Uncle Tosin, something goes wrong. We definitely concede dang near every time Tosin. I need to go look to match up every time Tosin starts with how many we concede. Because we were the second best defense in the league prior to today. I'd be very surprised if we still are. But yeah, it just throws dirt on his name. It gives rival fans and haters the opportunity to be like, see, look, Trev played and gave up, and y'all gave up 3. Y'all let in 3. Could have been 4 or 5, right? Where I think the real catalyst to that is Tosin. You put Trev next to Levi, solid. You put Trev next to Wes, solid. You put Trev next to Josh, I believe it's going to be solid. You still may concede because he's a young gun, but it's still going to be solid. Man, Enzo Maresca got to find something to unlock these mid to low blocks. Anytime someone pulls up on us with a 5 at the back, we have troubles, man. We have troubles. I think the real crux of that trouble comes from five at the back, but with two strikers to put a lot of pressure on our center backs. But either way it goes, that five at the back gives us pressure. Being very compact puts a lot of pressure on us, and we weren't able to get very many corners today to try to, nick a goal to relieve that pressure. Because even though it's very cliche, goals do change games, and if we get an early goal, we get an early goal from one of our, half chances earlier, or a corner, it changes the shape of the game, and I believe we see a very different outcome. But like I said, credit to Leeds. They put a lot of pressure on our back line. They put a lot of pressure on us as a whole, right? They were very physical. And although we're a physical team, we weren't ready for it today. They kind of came and hit us in the mouth, and we didn't really have an answer for them. And I hate to see that from our guys, but it is what it is. Game 1 of the 3-game Caicedo ban has resulted in 0 points. That is not good. I want to see 6 points from the rest of these 2 games in the 3-game ban. But good things. We saw some bright sparks out of Pedro Neto and Jamie Gittins, and we also got a return from Iceman Cole Palmer. Wasn't able to really put his stamp on the game. He did have an opportunity in which I'm just gonna, gotta chalk it up to Russ. He did not put away. He pushed that cutback away from Garnacho. Might come out of here with 3 points, because that's gonna put a lot of juice. That's gonna put a lot of batteries back in our back. Gonna put a lot of juice in our system. But woulda, shoulda, coulda. Should have got 3 points. Would have got 3 points. Could have got 3 points. We got 0. It is what it is. Very disappointed in the display today, but we move on. Blue Empire, we out of here. Deuces.